So, ladies and gentlemen, who is going to win the Nations Championship? The first thing I want to say is that I have never been a fan of this competition since it was, put into place. Reason why is I think it's a bit of a nightmare for the Northern Hemisphere teams to travel south with all these different time zones going from Argentina to South Africa to New Zealand to Australia to Japan. I think it's a little bit crazy, but then I suppose World Rugby want the fixtures to be, monetized. They want an audience, despite the teams having to travel hectic miles. So it is what it is, really. For the southern teams, it's a bit easier to go from Italy to Paris to, London is not the worst. We do this all the time in Europe. It's sort of 1 hour away, really. The northern teams, I'm fancying quite the battle between France, England, and Ireland. I don't know if Scotland will have what it takes to beat New Zealand at home. I think that they should, quote unquote, beat Australia at home. And who else do they have? They have Argentina. No, Japan. So that's my only sort of doubt for Scotland is, can they beat New Zealand at home? If they do, I think they'll also beat Japan at home, and I think they'll also beat Australia at home. I think they got out of the equation Argentina and South Africa, which you could argue were the hardest for them away. Now they got it out of the way. So Scotland came out with a good win in Argentina. They did well against the Springboks. That will be good for their confidence. But can they actually finish first in the pool? It will all depend on if they can beat New Zealand. For England, they also got South Africa out of the way. I fancy England to beat New Zealand more than Scotland because they've done it already. They know this New Zealand team well, although they're going to be a different side once they've played the Springboks and once they've got a bit more momentum going with Rennie. But if England beat beat New Zealand, then they have to beat Australia, right? They're playing Australia at home, and who do they have left? Japan at home. No mistakes? No mistakes. So they could finish 5 out of 6, correct? Yeah, 5 out of 6. Now France, toughest bit yet is going to be South Africa at home. That's too difficult to call just yet. And then they'll have, I believe, Argentina at home, South Africa, and Fiji. So it's really an interesting battle in the Northern Hemisphere between France, England, and Scotland. If I had to pick one, I would pick England. By the way, I'm English and French. I love these two teams. I would pick England because of the fact that they're hosting New Zealand and not South Africa. I think France will struggle against South Africa. I think England will struggle against New Zealand, but I think they might win. So that's why I would favour New Zealand. By the way, England. I haven't mentioned Ireland. Why have I not mentioned Ireland? Ireland were poor against New Zealand, in my opinion. They've played Japan. They got 5 points against Japan and 5 against Australia. But now they've got South Africa at home. Not easy. Argentina at home. Not easy neither. And Fiji. No comment. So I don't think that Ireland will win those 3. Could be wrong, but I think they're going to miss out on the South African game. South Africa are going to either beat both Ireland and France or at least one. We'll see. Now, let's talk about the South, which is going to be 4, I believe, between South Africa and New Zealand. South Africa on 15 points with 81 points difference and 51 points difference for New Zealand, also on 15 points. New Zealand have England away and South Africa have France away. Those are the sort of 2 biggest fixtures for both those countries. If New Zealand beat England, they, I think, should beat Scotland. I think that they will beat Scotland, and I think that they'll also beat... I need to sort of get this in front of my notes. It's like I have to think through who they've got to play. They've got England away, Scotland away, not Italy, they played Italy, and Wales. Okay, no comment about Wales. So, Scotland and England, not easy. They might get 1 win, but where I think... then it's actually quite difficult for the Boks too, because you've got Ireland and France. I can understand that, you Boks supporters may think that it's going to be easy, but I don't think it will be. I think that beating Ireland and France away, like you did last year, by the way, in the same tour, not easy, really tough to call. It's really tight between New Zealand and France. I think New Zealand have it a little bit easier with England and Scotland, and South Africa have it a little bit harder with France and Ireland. Because I think the Boks should win in Italy and New Zealand should win in Wales. So tough to call. Let me know what you guys think. I'm maybe favouring the All Blacks just because of the games that they have on paper. And they might just get 5 points in both. South Africa, will they score 4 tries in Dublin and 4 tries in France and win? Is it going to be played on goal difference? Will South Africa have to go to Italy and really spank them? And same for New Zealand. Will they have to really try and put on 70 points against Wales? Gosh, it's a tough call, guys. And I think we'll have a bit more clarity once the Boks play versus New Zealand, because that's a series that I can't wait for. And if you're either a Kiwi or a Safa, you're probably also in that same mindset of like, I just bring it on, really. You know, why do we have a pause in rugby now? I was going to make a video today and I was like, what can I talk about, really? Damn, we've got a few weeks without any top-notch rugby. There was the Nations Cup, right? That's the sort of tier 2 rugby. Very exciting fixtures. I'm always happy to tune into those games, watch some highlights and see how the tier 2 and tier 3 teams are performing. Hong Kong with a surprising win away in Uruguay. Maybe, just maybe, that will give them a little bit of a boost before next year's World Cup, because they're the team with Zimbabwe that I'm the most worried about, where, I'm talking like, New Zealand facing Hong Kong could get really out of hand, and England versus Zimbabwe too. We shall see, guys. We shall see. It will be very interesting. Now let's talk briefly about, the South, because that's where it's poised even more. The North, we've got France, England, Scotland, maybe Ireland, right? Chasing something out of the. Maybe they'll be. I think they're all battling for first place, and I already said it. I think England have the most chance, but could be wrong. And France, if they beat South Africa, they should go all the way. They should. But, I mean, if France beats South Africa, then New Zealand should, unless they lose, they should finish first of the Southern pool. Let me know what you think. If France beats South Africa, are we looking at a France versus New Zealand in the final for first place? And if South Africa beat France, are we looking at South Africa versus England in the final? I would prefer South Africa versus England. It's sort of... You guys keep disagreeing when I say it's a rivalry. I said South Africa versus France is a rivalry, and you guys said it's not a rivalry because France never beat South Africa. For me, a rivalry isn't based on who wins or the record. It's just based on the fact that, you're rivals, right? You want to beat each other, and it's sort of, there's some history, there's some spice behind it. There's that World Cup quarterfinal that sort of was a spicy game. Now, you can keep saying that France never beat South Africa, guys. I'm not sort of I don't really like those comments. Anyway, because I just don't get the point. I get it, all right? I get it that the Boks have beaten France in recent times, and you guys are better on paper and are better on the head-to-head recently, and you're first in the world, and I completely credit you for that. Well done, South Africa. Brilliant team, brilliant Boks. But there's a bit of disrespect going on to some of the other opponents that are not far behind, and I think that's a little bit silly. But that's just my take. And South Africa, England is just as much of as a rivalry, really, with all the history that goes down actually quite a few centuries. So let me know what you think. Let this be the start of something great in the comment section. I think that we're looking at either South Africa versus England in the final or France versus New Zealand. But I won't comment until I see the Boks play against the Kiwis in this greatest rivalry series. Bring it on. Honestly, bring it on.